Welcome back. Today we are doing something a little special, I guess. We are going to do a continuation of last time because we drank a little bit too much whiskey and didn't go through all of our topics. So today we are doing part 2 of helpful human activities that can be fun dog and human activities.
Absolutely.
So since we are following up, we are going to stick with the same whiskey.
That Willet's too good.
It's really, really good. So if you want to know about Willet, we talked about it the last show.
You should go look there.
But
I am follow when you get there.
Yep.
But anyway,
I am Christopher Lamy, owner of Canine Coaching with Chris. I am here with Evan Stewart of K-Pro Canine and his wife Heather. And we have a really fun topic today. A continuation. Last time we basically just talked about walking and how walking was a game. Today we're going to expand upon that a little bit. But first, how are you? Let's buddy check it up. How are you doing?
Yeah, actually, brother, I'm pretty fantastic. Like I got some cool stuff, some opportunities coming up that I'm really looking forward to. Life has slowed down pretty significantly and things are kind of coming back into really nice alignment for us right now. I'm looking forward to a couple weeks from now. Like, I have a chance to go to, down to the Keys. I'm looking forward to that. And work has been good, the feeling of things are kind of tough all over is starting to recede in our economy a little bit. I think, people,
I would agree.
Yeah. I think people getting some of their, the return checks, are starting to trickle out of the IRS, which I think is a good thing. And so I just think it's been really, really good, man. Like I feel great. Started a new workout routine, which has been great.
Yeah. You look amazing.
You know what I mean? Thank you. And things have been overall just really trending in the right direction lately. So I'm really, really pleased with, how life is and what's going on right now, which is where it's the sweet spot, right? Like that's where you want to be, right? How are things with you, bro?
Thank you for asking. Pretty similar, honestly. I have had a couple of weeks of really calm, just really great days.
I love that.
Not everything has been perfect, right? There have been some people that reach out to me, some former veterans and police and firemen buddies of mine that are having some struggles, and that what it really indicates to me and shows me is life isn't always going to be perfect, right? There is always going to be a struggle, but you can find beauty in the struggle, and it has been a very beautiful time over the last few weeks. We truth be told, we went out to dinner last night and kind of tied one on. And we
had a blast last night. Yeah.
Really, really tied one on. But we we talked about some things that I realized some things about myself that it took me a lot longer to understand and realize than maybe it should have. And it's really just kind of helped things really fall into place. And again, it just shows that this life is just a continuation of learning and growing and enjoying and appreciating. Yeah. Yep. It's just a journey that we're here we get to have fun on.
Yeah. So, I'm here for it.
I love it.
So Heather, a buddy check over there, man. How are things, huh?
I'm good. My book came out a couple of weeks ago, and that's been going well. Just posting things for that, doing some dog training work. I mean, not that I've been training, but work for K-Pro. Just getting the computer stuff. And
hey guys, she says that, but since the last time she titled the dog. She earned titles on a dog since the last time.
That's awesome.
Don't let her joke you.
Oh, and just casually my book got released. It's published. Yeah,
it's no big deal.
Yeah, just run right past that one.
Yeah, it's the second book in the series. It's no big deal.
Which I cannot wait to get started on. I told y'all yesterday, I read the first page. I'm like, nope, not today. Yep. Nope, I don't have the tears for this. No, thank you.
No, but it's fantastic, man. Great.
But awesome. Ghost did get her trick dog title.
Yeah. That's badass.
Novice and intermediate, and
knocked it out the same day.
Such a great dog.
That's awesome.
For doing things. It's just I guess today's topic, right? She's great for anytime you want to go just do things. She's amazing to go do things. She is my buddy that this time of year is blackberry season, and we go pick blackberries together because she will absolutely go eat blackberries.
That's awesome.
Part of the bramble.
But A lot of stickers in there too.
But leaving her
Just
alone
walks right
in the house, like, it's not a thing that can happen. That is not.
No.
Not where she's at.
No.
That's one of the
I
things
don't know that dog ever. I mean, she's a Malinois. She's 6.5 years old. I don't know that she'll ever be like home alone trusted in her life. Like
that's just one of those dogs, and that's one of the things that we have to tell people all the time as professionals is that, hey, this dog is going to be fantastic as long as you are actively giving him or her a job.
Yeah, as long as
you
you're
let
doing
that
stuff with
thing sit around your house for 6 hours. Good luck.
Yep.
Right?
No, 100%.
You need a task. You need a job.
That's, like people come to my house sometimes and my dogs spend some time in kennels and we do, like crate and rotate situation, right? And people sometimes ask me like, blah, 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 blah. Like, do you ever, and I'm like, dude, let me tell you something. Number one, look around you. I live in the woods, right? So like my dogs don't spend an inordinate amount of time in the house to begin with. And then on top of that, like, their environment here is so rich that they're just out here doing dog stuff.
Loving it. Yep. Quality over quantity.
Yeah. And so like the quality of time that we end up spending is like leads right into what we're doing today is kind of like really, just like Heather was saying, like cooperative with us. Like they live life right next to us. We don't garden alone. We garden with dogs. We, like all the things.
Which I think you're hitting on something that I've been thinking about for a long time. This is one of the major problems in the dog-human relationship currently in our society today, is that's what dogs are, right? They are our partners. That's why they have been man's best friend for thousands and thousands 100%. Of years, is because they're so adept at learning new tasks and helping us in these tasks.
Yeah.
Whether it's picking blackberries or defending our land or whatever it is, they're fantastic at adjusting and performing a job. Right.
Yeah.
And our lives, our day to day in American society today has gotten so fast paced in an environment that dogs really aren't welcome in, right? Most jobs, most restaurants, most grocery stores do not welcome dogs.
That's right.
And then on top of that, our society has also become a lot more sedentary, right? A lot of us are sitting down more, watching TV more, and dogs just don't mesh well with this. And so this topic, it's really, really near and dear to my heart. You know this because this is how I have formulated my entire career. My entire dog training philosophy is wrapped around giving your dog a job that they can appreciate and understand, and then paying them for that job.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about a few games that you can play. But I think to start off, I think it's really important to distinguish between physical stimulation and mental stimulation. Because if you're going to play with your dog, you have to understand what you're trying to accomplish with that game in the first place, right?
Yeah. Like what's the purpose, right?
Right.
I always tell people, hey, we play with purpose. We don't play for the sake of play often, right? Because I want the dog to enjoy its daily life and its daily routine. So everything that I do whenever I'm manipulating behavior is actually play, right? Like I want the dog to be in a good mood. I want the dog to be receptive, right? I can't do that if I'm yelling no.
And that does two things, right? Two things, what you just said jumped out at me.
Yeah.
One, if you're doing this constantly, right? You're always playing games with your dog throughout your day. Your dog isn't just like, okay, it's training time, I have to listen. No, listening is part of their day.
Right.
Second, if you're playing games with your dog all day, how much fucking fun are you having? Right?
100%.
Like if you're going out and playing all day, what better life could you be having?
Seriously.
I run a summer camp for dogs all day. It's amazing.
Yes. Like you've seen, so, for those of you at home, like the property that I have, I mean, like it's just full of dog equipment, dog gear and fun stuff for dogs to do, confidence course stuff, all kinds of stuff I've got out here. And my dogs just enjoy it all the time.
And we are speaking from a perspective of professionals. This is our life, right? And I think it's also really important to pause here and say, like, you don't have to make this your entire life.
No,
right?
No.
If you get home from work at 5 o'clock and you have tasks to do around your house, get ready for dinner, get the kids ready for bed, water the lawn, whatever, that's fine. Have your dog follow you and give them instructions throughout that, right? I tell people, hey, if you get up off the couch, go to the bathroom and get a drink of water, you've got a lot of opportunities in that little stretch to talk to your dog. Come here, follow me, sit, wait here for me, go on place, right? Stay out of the kitchen. You can add all of these things in. And what's important about it isn't necessarily what you're asking them to do, but your mindset when you do it.
100%.
Right? Just like we talked about last episode, a walk. A walk can be very easily just go out, walk a circle, come back.
Yeah.
Or it can be an adventure.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. And what makes it that is our mindset. We need to be able to bring the fun and allow our dogs to have fun throughout our routines. And then, of course, the environment. Yeah, it's not obviously not that simple, but
I'm not adventuring in the Walmart parking lot, but I might adventure, in the woods behind Walmart. You know what I mean? Like but the biggest thing is this is for me, like owning a dog should be a lifestyle. It should not be like the dog should not be an accessory to the life that I want to live separate from the dog. But like owning a dog, I saw this thing and it's been kicking around my feeds, right, on social media here and there, that says like, hey, you might have multiple friends in your life, but you're the best friend your dog's ever going to have.
Yes.
Right. They've
Love
got
that.
15 years maybe on this planet, right? If we're lucky, some a little bit longer, some a little bit less. And like, you're your dog's best friend for their life. Right. So like, we should treat them that way.
Agreed.
We should enrich their lives as though that is the truth.
Agreed.
Because I think that it really is just simply the truth.
And so to piggyback or to jump off of that, one of the most important things when you're playing a game or giving your dog a job, right, is the reward that they get for their job or for the game that you're playing, whatever you want to call it, right? And so it's really, really key to before you start playing these games to understand what it is your dog wants as far as a reward, right? You need to know their love language. Yeah. If you're asking your dog to do all these things and you're handing them treats every time they do it and they don't really like treats, then why are they doing it? They're not getting, you're not fulfilling your part of encouraging that behavior.
That's right.
And so paying attention to your dog and understanding what it is that they value, what they put value to is super important in this process and in the process of giving your best friend what it is that they actually want.
So what's really interesting about what you just said is the idea that treats are not the only reward in the world. What other rewards can we give folks that,
love it.
Like, rewards are important, right? So like what other rewards exist?
So the what I will say is the biggest reward for your dog is you. Right, you are your dog's biggest reward, and I want to talk about that. But first, some other ones to answer your question directly. A toy, right?
Sure.
Love and affection.
Yes.
Just looking at them and being happy, right? Showing them that they made you happy is a reward.
Yeah.
Throwing a ball, running.
Movement.
Freedom.
Right?
Freedom of movement.
That's what I'm saying, right? So like you said running and I went movement. Movement itself is a reward. And that's where like when people are doing leash walking, they don't understand that like if the dog's dragging you and you're allowing that to happen, you're reinforcing.
You are reinforcing that pulling behavior. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I want to jump on something real quick that I wasn't planning on talking about this episode, but I think it fits nicely. How do we I am my dog's biggest reward.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do I communicate that to my dog? How do I reward them? What are the communication tools we have? Okay. 5 of them, in my opinion. And maybe we have more. Maybe you disagree.
Let's find out what you got.
Your voice, right? Your tone of voice. When you're rewarding, they should know from the tone of your voice, happy, excited, put your clown shoes on. Yay!
Take it for what it is, right? Like whenever I'm working my puppy in bite work, right? And he bites like the way that he's supposed to, I'm over there going, good boy, right? What a guy. Holy
and then the
cow.
opposite side of the tone of voice, right? Is use your mom or dad voice when you need to correct them.
Hey man, what are we doing?
Your tone of voice is super important. Facial expressions, right? Your dogs can memorize around 150 facial expressions
easily,
ish, right? Yeah. And so dogs are paying attention to us all the time.
Yep.
All the time, along with facial expressions, our body language.
That's right.
Dogs are absolute experts at body language.
That's right.
There's a lot that you say to your dog without actually saying things to your dog. 4th, your hands. We communicate with our hands, right? Our dogs have been trained to follow hands for thousands of years. And then finally, our leash. Your leash can communicate with them as well. So voice, face, body, hands, leash. These are the ways that we communicate to our dog and give them that yay reward or I don't like that.
Yeah.
Correction.
No, absolutely. Take it for what it is, man. I think gesture is really understated, right? So it's
extremely important for a dog.
So like one of the markers that I give my dog, I got called out by a dog trainer the other day. I won't mention her name, but she's a fantastic trainer and I train with her regularly. But like no kidding, I thumbs up my dog, right?
Nice. Love that.
And she went, bro, did you just thumbs up the dog? And I went, I did. I thumbs up him all the time because I want that to be a visual cue that, hey, you got that right as well. When we talk about gesture, I think gesture is broadly underutilized by a lot of people.
Agreed.
You know, I mean, just like you just did this a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how I call a dog to me, right? Like
Same.
that's the hey,
same, exactly.
You know, like
because it's so inviting.
Absolutely,
right? This is so much more inviting than this.
And
or
who wants to come for a butt whooping? Zero.
Nobody.
People, right? So like, you know, everybody, you know, if you grew up around the time that we did, right? Like when the street lights came on, if mom, you know, you could tell by the sound of mom's voice whether or not you missed the cue. You know what I mean? And so
you knew what you were walking into from the tone of her voice. Yes,
right?
absolutely.
And so like, if you know, one of the things that I correct in clients all the time is that they walk out and they're like, come here, right? And it's like, bro, do not Mortal Kombat this dog, right? Get over here, right? Like you can't do that. The dog's going to go.
They're not going to do it.
I don't want to do that.
No, absolutely not.
Run from you now, right? You'll make your stuff worse, like the problem worse. You know?
And this is something that I have to catch myself with all the time, right? We've talked about this. We both have some issues that we deal with. You train happy, you don't train angry.
That's right.
And there are a lot of times where I catch myself and just okay, I'm saying something to this dog that I need to recognize. I need to take a little mental step back and say, all right, what am I saying without actually saying it?
Without running my mouth. Yeah. And that's, you know, so like when we talk about like how we are next to dogs, that also is like a great indicator of how they're going to experience things that we expose them to.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about like, you know, the different games and mental, physical, right? And that's what we're talking about. And the answer is like, you know, if you don't have an easy energy, your dog will be avoidant to you.
Yes.
If you come into the situation like, you know, you just got off work, you've got to run to swim practice for your teenager later, you know, you got yelled at work today because somebody else's mistake. That happens all the time, right? I've heard that from clients for years. Oh man, I just had a bad day. The boss was mad at this guy and he took it out on everybody, you know? And it's like, yeah, that sucks.
Dog's going to feel all of that.
Right.
Dog's going to feel it. And then I'm smell it. And then I'm see it.
Right. This is my favorite, right? I'm harried. We get this in the morning, right? Like I look at people all the time and I'm like, man, just get up earlier. And they're like, but I don't want to get up earlier. And I'm like, so you're locked into the idea that sleep is a luxury that is immovable in the morning. Like just go to bed earlier, get up earlier. Right. And like spend some extra time, because if you're harried, if you're, you know, rushing, and then you know, the first time you call your dog in from the backyard, they don't come.
And you're angry. Yep.
And now we're angry, and now we're chasing.
Set yourself up for success.
Yeah. We're making the whole thing worse, right? And that's the same thing I tell people all the time. I'm like, even if you busted out a cool game, but you're trying to knock it out in the 5 minutes that you have, chances are the dog's going to go,
yeah, this isn't fun.
Just be avoidant.
Just because you're trying to have fun doesn't mean it's going to be fun.
Right. Exactly.
So I started teaching Molly scent work recently, last week.
I saw it to the effect.
Yeah, and I don't know why I've avoided doing it so long. She's got a great nose, and it's going to be fun. And
standard poodle.
And honestly, there really isn't many people more qualified to teach that than I am after all the courses I've been through in the military and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it. But whether it's scent work or whether it's OB course or whether it's wrestling or tug or fetch, right? It's all relatively the same process as far as you'll need to teach. One of the things I hear all the time is like, my dog just won't fetch. Well, have you spent the time to teach them the steps rather than just go throw a ball and expect them to bring it back to you?
Right.
You get a hunting lab. Yeah, maybe they're ingrained. Maybe they're ready. Right. Yeah. But not all, even all golden retrievers don't know exactly what to do.
Especially now.
And so in the very beginning, when you are teaching a task, take scent work or fetch or whatever it is, understand that your dog may be confused at first, and that's okay.
Yep.
That's part of the process, right? Yeah. That's part of the learning process 100%. Is not really understanding. And so don't get frustrated during that time. Go into it, just like you were saying, with a fun, happy mindset.
Yep.
Don't be hurried. Don't be rushed. Don't be frustrated when they're not getting it. Just because you've had 20 golden retrievers and all of them fetched immediately, that doesn't mean this one will.
Right. And fetch is a great tool, right? So stuff like flirt poles and spring poles and all these other things that we do with dogs just for activity. Hiking's a great activity. Swimming's a great activity. But some dogs don't know how to swim, right? And you're like, what do you mean dogs don't know how to swim?
And it can be intimidating. They don't see the water in the same way that we do.
Right. Yeah. And
so especially like dogs entering a pool, for the first time, you may need to kind of like drag them in there, right? Help them in. Because they can't really see the bottom.
Right.
And so that doesn't mean they're scared of swimming. It just, they don't understand.
Yeah. It's like, my female ghost that we were talking about a little while ago, she's not like a big swimmer, but like one day she got on the other side of the pond, Heather called her and she just jumped off.
That's awesome.
Swam across and popped out. And it's like, okay, so you don't do it often, but you'll do it.
How to.
If you want to. You know what I mean?
So one of my favorite games, wrestling with a dog. And not all dogs enjoy that, right? But a lot of dogs, like one of the best things you can do for your dog is get on their level, right? Wow. Getting on your dog's level is so vitally important. And you can see it in their body, in their face. They love it. But wrestling, I think, offers a really unique opportunity in that you can, wrestle. Okay, sit and just.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Just like with the bite work that you do.
Yeah.
Right?
So
just with the bite work.
There.
Yes, you're tap and drive. And then you're like, okay, shut it off.
Yep.
And that's a really key thing that, yes, you're playing, you're enjoying each other, but you're building something too. You're creating that off switch.
Yeah. 100%.
So that just because you're wrestling here, it should transfer over with time and with patience and with consistency, that when you're, out with other dogs or you're in an exciting environment and you activate that off switch, right?
Sweat. Yeah.
They already have the structure inside their brain. They already have the programming, if you will, to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And you taught that structure, you taught that programming, you taught that skill by doing something fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of the things I think people have misconceptions about most, is that they think that obedience is like this pass fail punishment metric, right? And like obedience done really, really well is teaching a dog to play with rules. Right?
Yes.
It's like red light, green light.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So if I'm looking for a focus teal, I'm gonna eventually spin that out into a game of tug with my dog, right? Like tug is a
Tug's a great tool.
Fantastic. And talk about get on their level.
Yep.
Now we're wrestling with a game that is also enriching. Like it's too good.
It's fantastic.
Not spend time like that. And take it for what it is. If your dog becomes uncomfortable or becomes avoidant, give them the space they need, and you can tell, like some dogs go, oh, I'm not sure. And then they'll take space from you. And I'm like, oh, buddy, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Did I hurt your feelings? Did I come on too strong? Did I come in over top of you and try to do the thing with a lot more energy than you were expecting? Like what happened? Right. And the answer is most dogs, and we do this, I do this even with shelter dogs. Like I'll go spend time at the shelter and just, play with dogs and do stuff because they need time.
Absolutely.
Right? And
we've talked, sorry, I mean, cut you off, that we've talked about needs versus wants.
Yeah.
Right. Dogs need to play.
Yeah.
That's not something that we'll get to it. No. This is a need in the same way that food, water, and exercise are a need.
I make the argument that people need to play.
I would agree 1,000%.
Playing, right? Their psychology gets worse.
I would agree 100%.
You need to play lifelong, right?
And lifelong, right?
Yep. My granddad was great at this, right up until the end. You know what I mean? He was the guy, and he was this guy, right? He had some fake false teeth in the front, right? And just in this one spot, he was the guy that till the end, he'd give you this smile and just pop teeth out of his lips. You know what I mean? And just be goofy.
That's awesome.
And be like, come on, man, are you serious? And he's like, oh yeah, I don't know. I might, right toward the end, he's in the hospital bed, and I look at him, I say, hey, Pap, and he pops some things out. And I'm like, oh,
that's amazing.
You know what I mean? And he played right to the end. And that's one of the things that was, to me, so instructive in my life is, watching people play and keep that joy.
Yes,
is so important.
And you use one of my favorite words. Dogs are lifetime learners.
Yeah.
Right. Just like we are.
Yeah.
You know this very well. I like to share the classical conditioning study with Pavlov, right?
Yeah.
Ivan Pavlov. Dogs heard the bell so many times before food that they understood that the bell meant food was coming, right? So they'd start to salivate. What most people do not understand about that study is it continued, right?
Yeah.
You know this. Dogs started to understand that before the bell, they would hear the door open.
Yep.
And before the door, they would hear the keys. And then they started salivating for the keys. And then they started salivating before the keys, and they heard the footsteps.
Yep, just footsteps.
Then they would hear the cars pulling up. And so it went back, and back. And so what this shows is there's a depth to their learning. right? They don't just learn something and they're like, okay, I got it. I play fetch now.
Right.
No, there is a depth to their learning, and they can continue learning their entire lives just like us.
Yes.
Now, here's the key, right? Y'all paying attention? If they're not being taught, they're still learning.
No, for sure.
And I promise you, they're going to learn the wrong way.
Yeah, no, for
So
sure.
you're doing yourself an advantage by teaching your dog how to live with you and just continuing it. And it doesn't need to be work, right? Just like what we're talking about. Just go out and have playtime with your dog every day with guidelines, with structure.
Yeah.
Right.
And take it for what it is. I mean, like, I know people that play with their dogs with like an ice cube, right? Especially in the summer.
Everything can be a game.
Yeah.
Everything.
You know? Like, slide that thing across the floor and watch a dog just chase it around. You know?
Fetch. We'll talk about fetch again for a minute, right? You're playing a solid game of fetch. That's not drop the ball, throw it, drop the ball, throw it. No. Come here, leave it, sit, pick the dog ball up, stay, throw it, release. Here, there are so many commands. There are so much structure that you can add in. And with that, right, we want to make sure that we're balancing the structure with fun, especially in the beginning.
100%.
In the beginning, it should be more fun and a little less structure.
Yeah, so
and then it balances out, right?
Yeah, what do we say? If the reward doesn't overshadow whatever structure or punishment might be in place,
there you go.
Resilience never emerges. So like the reward has to overshadow that for resilience to emerge in whatever activity we're working.
And that goes all the way back to what we started first, right? You have to know what your dog values.
It's us too,
first.
Right? Yeah. So like, no, I mean, this stuff, like, you know, knowing your dog's love language, what are they into? How much fun are they having? There are dogs that like chase lizards. Well, if you like chase lizards, I got some games for you. You know what I mean? Like, you can lure course. You can, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff to express that desire, right? You know, your dog, you know, is the kind of dog that likes to play tug of war. Okay, well, there's 85 ways to play tug of war. There's tug with a ball. There's tug with a specifically made tug tool. There's tug with a sock, like I used to do whenever I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, there's all kinds of ways that you can play tug. And just like you were saying with fetch, we inject structure into all those things. We inject obedience into all those things so that the dog can really feel good about the job we're asking them to do. So
it builds confidence. It hits all their instincts.
Absolutely.
I mean, there really is no downside.
It's too good, really.
It's amazing.
If you're circumspect and planned about play, you can get a lot of work done.
Intent.
Yep.
Be intentful with your actions, with your time with your dog.
Absolutely.
And absolutely.
Yep.
So let's pivot just a tiny bit and talk about something else that's really, really important: grooming.
Yeah.
Right? Grooming is such a large business now, right? And it's important. It's important.
Yeah.
But it's I say more important as a form of rapport building.
Yes.
Right. Think about mammals in the wild. That is how they show their love. That's how they build rapport, is they groom each other, right? Apes, dogs, most mammals groom each other, and it's how they establish a bond, right? And so if you're taking your dog to Bubbles and Bows, hi Ashley, or anywhere else, that's fine, right? They do great work. They do a lot of really pretty cuts, especially with Molly. So it's amazing with her bows.
And I've known
gorgeous.
so many great groomers.
But it's, and I'm not taking anything away from them, and you should continue using them. But do some, even if it's just, paws, tail, mouth, ears, check them out, right? Look at your dog, get them used to being
from the time they're pups,
right? Get them used to being touched. And you're setting them up for success when they do need that done at the vet and at the groomers. And two, you're building rapport, and you're building that like, hey, no, I'm here to take care of you mindset.
Right. I'm going to touch you in order to maintain you and help you feel better about life. And these days, with the level of doodles that are out there, grooming is in bigger demand now than almost ever. And the hardest thing about this is when you don't groom your dog, you don't realize how uncomfortable they can become.
Yes.
Right. So like, I've got a cousin that's a groomer. I've got, other friends that are groomers, and the amount of doodles that look cute with a little bit of a shaggy cut, but the people don't understand how matted they are under that coat. If you're not brushing your dogs out that have hair instead of fur, you are missing the boat. And take it for what it is. It's massively important. It's kind of like I got a question from a volunteer at a shelter the other day about cobbing. Dogs will just do this thing with their mouth where they like kind of corn cob you a little bit, right? And they're like, what is that about? And
It's
I
a
was
rapport
like,
thing.
yeah, I was like, dude, it's
affection.
It's affection, man. He's going, I'll eat your gnats if you eat mine. How about that?
Yeah, it's a groom. Yeah, absolutely. It's an affection.
And my puppy, now 75 pounds of Czech Shepherd, right? Is just like he'll come up and lay across me and he'll be chewing on something. And then like I'll be petting him or I'll hit his little kangaroo spot, makes his leg go, you know what I mean? And he'll stop what he's chewing on and like just start the corn cob right down my arm, right? And I'm like, oh, buddy, I love you too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's so good.
And that what you're describing is it's called bite inhibition, right? A very common term for you.
He was grabbing me.
Right. Yeah. Bite inhibition can go anywhere from like tearing your arm off to that little bitty nibble.
Yeah.
And so it's a trust thing, right? It's him showing you, hey, I trust you enough. I know you trust me enough that
we can groom you.
I can do this. I can bite you and I can help clean it. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's very important. And again, even if your dog is going and getting groomed, just putting your hands on your dog in a manner that.
Just loving them.
Yep. Very important.
And making it a good thing, right? Like, so, we do cooperative care drills, a lot of K-Pro with dogs that are having a hard time at grooming or having a hard time at the vet, right? And it's like, let me teach you to give me your paw instead of pecking it up, right? And then I can progress to like touching you lower and lower on your arm and reward you with something.
And that's beautiful because you're giving that dog some autonomy, right? You're giving them like, hey, look, you have some choice in this matter. You're not in charge, but you do have some autonomy. You have some choice. And that's it. That we don't really think about that all the time, but it's important.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, like even past that, right? Like I'll give you a good, for instance, right? Whenever I find a new vet, and I haven't had to in years, and I really, really, really like my vet, if you're in the South Mississippi or Southeast Louisiana area over here, and you can go to, Animal Health Clinic up in Picayune, Mississippi, they're fantastic crew up there. I really, really love them. But like one of the things that's true is whenever I find a new vet and they find out I have Malinois, they're always on guard. Right. And like, it's so funny. My vet takes on a lot of students, right? In his clinic. And every time I go in there, he's like, this dude's number one, going to have all the questions in the world and they're going to be fantastic. So pay attention. And number two, he's got some of the best dogs ever. And what makes the difference in that, right, is that from the time that they start going to the vet, I make it a fun event.
That is such a big topic.
Yep. So like the first time that this puppy got his puppy shots, like we're playing tug, and like he's got a toy in his mouth and I'm, just tugging with him a little bit. And then like I paused while he's still on the bite and like, boom, we gave him a shot and we went right back to play.
Yep. Love it.
And this dude's like, dude,
love it.
I love going to the vet.
And so, and let's talk about association, right? Classical conditioning.
Absolutely.
He knows going to the vet now is a fun event, right? Yep. Now let's talk about what normally happens, the exact opposite.
The exact opposite.
I want you guys to think about and realize what your dog is experiencing when you bring them to the vet.
Yeah,
they are smelling everything that happens in vet offices.
And there's a lot of unfortunate things that happen to dogs there.
There's death. There is sickness. Yep. There is pain. There's confusion. There's all of these things. And your dog is experiencing all of those through their nose, right? Your dog can smell fear. Your dog can smell death clearly, right? Absolutely. And they may not understand what it is, but that may make it worse. Yep. And so I tell everybody, especially people that have had issues with going to the vet, look, show up to the vet 10 minutes early and just stand there and do some work in the parking lot. Just hang out by your car. When your dog is ready, then progress.
Absolutely.
And if you start to see some stress, stop and hang out.
Yeah.
You show up early, set yourself up for success, and use this as a teaching moment.
Yep.
And with that, I'll add on your mindset, your energy is vitally important there.
Yeah.
Right. If you're nervous because, I don't want to mess this up, your dog's going to pick up the nervousness.
Yep.
Be confident. Expect your dog to behave. Expect him to him or her to follow the rules that you've already been establishing. 100%. Because if you haven't been doing this at home, they're not going to do it at the vet's office anyway.
Here's my favorite thing is bringing those games that we've been talking about right into the vet's office. Mm-hmm. Can you not,
why not?
6-foot leash, play a little fetch right there in the lobby? Why wouldn't you? Mm-hmm. Right? Like, can you not play a little tug right there
to get on the scale? Hey,
right.
Place.
Yep.
Great job.
I mean, like, why not take some of these games that we play on a regular basis with dogs for their benefit, bring them right into the office?
And what does that do, right? That again, we talked about earlier, like they start to understand that, we're not training mind. Now we're training. Now you have to listen. No, buddy. Like always.
We're not suppressing.
Always.
We're expressing.
Yep. You have to listen
where it gets really
all
great.
the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everywhere. Doesn't matter where we are. I mean, love that.
And again, right? Like the idea of integrating your dog into normal activities, right? Like, you're going on the boat, take your dog with you, keep them on the leash, make sure they don't jump out, down here, make sure they don't get eaten by an alligator. Right. But like, take them with you when you want to go.
Beautiful. Yeah. And I did another TikTok the other day about that. But the people that want to bring their dogs everywhere.
Right. Look,
hell
I'm
yeah.
here for it. Right. Like, we get clients all the time around here. I'm sure you do too. That are like, hey, we really want to take our dog on the boat, but like, we've never done that. And like, we're kind of nervous to do it. Would you come with us? And we're like, wait a second. Hold on. You're going to pay me to go out on the boat with you? Can I bring a fishing pole? Like, where are we going? What are we doing? Can we talk about that first? Because I know that your dog's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I know 100%. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah,
right. And it's gonna be a great time. Can we bring beer? Is that real? Man, I'm gonna tell you that this way of thinking about integrating your dog into your life is something that I get so excited about all the time, because it's something that we do all the time. It's
what they're made for.
I don't go to a hardware store or a plant nursery, and you know me, man. I love plants, right? I don't go to a nursery. I don't go places like that without that I know my dog's going to be accepted in without my dog.
Agreed.
Why would I do that? It's great for him to get out. It's great practice for us both.
And think about how many smiles you are bringing to the world, 100%. Right? Everybody that sees you smiles.
100%.
Not everybody.
And on this, no, almost everybody.
Everybody.
Like, there are a couple of people that will give you a wide berth, but most everybody's like, dude, we're just excited to see you and your dog here today, right? And here's the biggest thing is then you get to feel good about the relationship and you practice the relationship. Now, what happens if you have a dog that's not quite tolerant to that? Well, that's what we're here for as professional trainers, right? Like, we're here.
And that is not a failure.
No.
Right? That's very, very, very important. Just because you have a dog that needs some extra work to get to that point, that is not a failure. And that's not to say that they shouldn't.
Right. Because dogs don't come, and I tell people this all the time, they don't come packaged with all the skills they need to live in our modern environment. And if you think about it, like 60, 70 years ago, like hot showers weren't a thing. Like, help me out, right? Like, this is brand new for all of us, right? And so as you walk through your new environment with your dog, like, you have to understand and give them some credit for just showing up. And if you give them credit for just showing up, chances are, man, like, you're just going to keep winning. And that's one of the biggest things to think about. Like, when you're thinking about, say you happened on this podcast today and you're just thinking about getting a dog, right? My advice is real simple. Make sure you get the breed that's appropriate for you with the level of activity that's appropriate.
Do an honest assessment of your life.
And consider for yourself, how much time do I really want to spend with a dog? Because when you get one, he's your best friend for his whole life. We owe it to them to be their best friend too, right? We talk about this whole idea of, dogs are man's best friend. They really are.
They are the only creature that on this earth that will love you more than they love themselves.
And the idea that I've always had here, there's this ancient relationship between us that is founded in deep affection. It's the same kind of familial attachment that you do with, like your family, right? And I mean that. Like, many, many people go, oh, my dogs are my kids. And I'm like, no, they're not that. That lessens their majesty to me. But I understand the idea. And what I would rather say is, like, they are a solid partner in your life, right? Like, they're somebody. Number one, they're sentient beings. They have their own thoughts, feelings, desires. They're somebody that you can count on. They're somebody to hang out with. And there's somebody to integrate to your life.
I agree everything you said. I think that's
why we hang out, dude.
I know that and the whiskey.
Helps.
But I think it's really easy. And as we've been doing this job longer and longer, I see it all the time. I think it's really easy to take dogs for granted. Right. Hundreds of times I hear, I've had German Shepherds my entire life, or I've had, name the breed. I've had them all my life, and I've never had one like this. Okay, good. Right? You have this dog. I think we forget how magical this relationship is. It's symbiotic in the way that like bees and flower, right? No, like it's such an important, beautiful partnership. And if we're not giving these dogs the grace of teaching them how to live in our household, we're doing them a disservice, and it's ultimately going to fall back on us, right? Because you're going to have a dog that doesn't understand what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do.
My favorite thing is watching clients like have a light bulb moment where their dog teaches them about life, right? And they're like, actually, what I learned today in this session was my dog tells me when I'm nervous, and I go, I'm sorry.
I want to hug you.
Yeah, right. What you just
I'm so happy for you.
Right. And like, if we really pay attention, you know, and we get into lifestyle stuff often, right? Like, and
lifestyle experts.
Yeah.
It's on a t-shirt.
I know, right? It's on a t-shirt.
It's got to be real.
But like legitimately, right? Like when we get into it, like there's so much even in the spiritual and metaphysical that connect us to these animals that is really, really helpful for so many thousands, tens of millions of people. I'm sure that there's a reason that dogs have been right next to us at a rate that no other creature has ever been in the history of the world.
In what you're saying, and just to say it a different way, if you're not learning something from your dog, you're doing it wrong, right? Like if you're not, maybe not constantly, but if you're not constantly learning something from your dog and your relationship with your dog, I think you're missing something.
I would say
you heard the phrase, when the student is ready, the master will appear, right?
Yeah, man.
You know who my master is?
My dogs.
Sydney Michael.
Sydney Michael.
Sydney Michael has taught me so much about myself, like more than any human I have ever met.
Every dog that I've ever had has revealed something new about me, right? Like before I was a Malinois owner, I knew Mals, but I did not know them, right?
They're an experience.
Yeah.
Yep. You have to experience them. The
coolest thing about them, right, is like when you're really on the inside with one of those dogs, you feel like Superman.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like when and man, I'll get a little misty, but like when my dog Phantom, whom I love deeply, comes over of his own volition and lays down next to me, a dog that I've seen wreck fools, right? Like
you know what this dog is capable of doing.
The fullest of linebacker moves, take people off their feet on the field, like the whole 9 yards. And when he comes over and he lays down next to me and he gently puts his head on my leg, I'm like, brother,
you chose me.
You chose me in this moment to share this, like knowing what you are and how much potential you have. You chose to be this gentle. You know, like there's that quote that flies around the veteran community all the time. Like, you don't know how much violence it took to become this gentle, right?
This calm. Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like, I think about Mals in the same way, where like we've got more ice cubes. Hold on a second. I'm gonna grab one in a second. But like, brother, I'm telling you right now, like I think that all the time with the dogs that we're with, right? Is like, you don't know how much stress it took to become this gentle. You don't know how much choice in many ways it took to become this gentle. Like that dog has to choose to be gentle. It's kind of like our female ghost, you know, like she is one of the most graceful annoyances in my life because she will make herself known and present, but in the lightest touch. What do I mean by that? She might come right here if I ask for my attention. And I'm talking about right here, right? And she might actually get to the place just like this, guys, where like her nose is just on the outside of my hairs, but she's not punching. Right? Not my dog. I've seen Mals do that. Just
absolutely.
Right? But like there's this, because like we build real bonds with our animals, right? Like especially as trainers, I think the trainer community is like people that are just a little neurospicy enough to understand animals at a different level. Right? But like because of that, like there's this other connection that a lot of us get where it's like yeah, I can see where that dog would be horrible for someone else to live with.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like she used to do this thing when she was a little younger, where like I'd be walking through the backyard, right? And that dog would just come by and lick my face. I am 6 foot old, like 6'1", right? And like she's not that tall, and like she would just vault. No other part of her,
I can see it. I believe it.
Would touch me, and she would come from behind and just lick my face on the way through because she loved
That's hilarious.
Right? And I'm like, every time I'm like, oh, so you're rehabbing PTSD? Thank you, honey.
That's
right.
Hilarious.
But I'm like, legitimately, right? Like in that moment, the amount of grace in the interaction to not destroy me, at 30
even on
miles an hour,
accident.
you know what I mean? Like unbelievable. She does this thing. You'll be sitting on the couch, and like she will sometimes jump over the back of the couch because my couch kind of sits like I've got an open floor plan. It kind of sits in the middle of the room. She'll jump over the back of the couch and like I want to use a $50 word here. She will alight on the couch, like meaning like when she lands, it's like a bird landed easily on the branch, right? She doesn't just cram into it.
Like a professional diver who doesn't leave a splash. Yeah.
She just whoop,
dude, I'm telling you, Mal's. So you know this. I don't know if I've announced this on the show. I don't take Mal's into my program. Right? They don't fit well in my program.
I'm aware.
They just don't.
Sends them to us.
Yes, I do. Happily. They are just such incredible creatures.
Yeah.
Like Kitty, you're making me miss Kitty. Kitty was 44 pounds of pure hell.
Get it done, son. Get it done.
Until the workday was done.
Yeah.
Right? When she would hit people, when she would bite, she hit traps. Right? Every time.
She was up top. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I couldn't use an arm sleeve. She would miss it. She would skip it.
Yeah.
And so I loved having guys your size, right? I'm like, hey, just go.
Just run out there.
She's got you. But
I watched a guy get wrecked like that. His name was Blue. I'll remember this kid the rest of my life.
There were times where I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not paying your hospital bill, but I know that hurts.
Bro, I'm telling you, I know that
hurts.
We were at the embassy in Afghanistan. Just briefly, you just brought it to my mind. We're at the embassy in Afghanistan. Can we get ice support real quick?
Heather, toss us a ball.
Yeah. Just ice. Just bring the whole. Yep. Yeah. Ice support inbound. Look, man, we got a supply drop right here.
Thank you, Heather.
Fantastic. But we're at the embassy in Afghanistan, and one of the handlers caught this dude talking trash about the dogs in the chow hall. And he goes, oh, I'll take Pepsi Chow's on that, man. We got some sleeves, right? And this kid Blue, who was like an annoying, calm kid kind of situation. We love calm kids. Don't get me wrong, but this kid was annoying. Everybody's had one in their unit, right? He puts a sleeve on him, and he says, "Just hang your dude." I'm like 21 years old, right? Like he goes, "Just hang your arm out there and run away," right? So we're in the LZ, right, at the embassy in Afghanistan. Blue's running away. The handler knew exactly what he was doing, right? He waited till he was like 100 yards out.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. You get tired.
And then he sends the dog, right?
I know that game.
And like, brother, I'm here to say, like, that dog just destroyed that kid on the other end of the field, right? Like, grabbed him, like, just at the top of the cuff.
Which there's not a lot of physical protection there.
Nope. Grabbed him at the top of the cuff, bodied him. Right. And then is dragging him along. Right.
That's embarrassing. I know exactly what you
right. Just dragging him along, bro. And I'm like, oh my. Right. And this is what I'm talking about, right? Is like these dogs have potential that a lot of people don't understand.
I tell people all the time, like, do not get a Malinois unless you're training for a triathlon. Right. That's the type of energy that I think a Malinois owner should have.
Daily.
Right. Daily. Every day. Yeah. And that's the type of motivation that a Malinois owner has, because when I say you can teach these dogs to do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, anything.
Dude, 8 years ago, whenever I got Mal's, I was 80 pounds heavier.
They'll do that to you.
That's like not a joke either.
They will do it
to you. I was 80 pounds heavier whenever I became a Mal owner. And like at this point, bro, I'm like, no, man, I run, bro.
So I've been thinking about this story for a while.
Not prepared.
It has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about. But can I share one of my favorite stories in Afghanistan?
Diversion.
Yeah. Completely off topic.
Yep.
One of my favorite stories.
Hey, ready, guys?
When I was in Afghanistan
Story time with Chris.
Yeah, here we go. So when I was in Afghanistan, and I don't know why this story's been on my mind, but it has been. Yep. We took over a guy's house in the middle of nowhere. We're near Pakistan, a town called Zakuzi, and we took over a house and kind of built up the house, defensive fighting positions all over, and we had a 15-kilometer bubble around us that we were responsible for. We were the first Americans in that area ever. And so one of the things we did as we cleared the 15-kilometer bubble, right? We had a tunnel outside of our house. It was I don't know, a few hundred yards away, but we could see the entrance to the tunnel. We had no idea outside of that what it was, where it led, nothing at all. So me and one team guy, I won't say his name, were tasked to go clear the tunnel. Yeah. It was me and one guy, me, Kitty, and one guy, and so we
been there, done that.
We went into this tunnel. There was just an opening in the ground, in the sand, and just rifle light. I mean, pitch black, right? So I cut Kitty off leash and let her roam. She stayed about 30 feet in front of me, and we saw some unbelievable shit in there, right? Like human remains, lot of ammo and casings, and lots of
so we've been there before.
Materials, right? Lot of tracks of animals, stuff like that. Didn't see any humans, didn't see any real signs of like real life, which was good.
Yeah. I'm happy when an op is uneventful.
Yes, absolutely. Very, very, very happy. And so we they told us just to go a few hundred yards. We ended up searching that thing for about 3 miles.
Wow.
Because we were having so much fucking fun.
You're just spelunking.
Yes.
Paid for it.
It was so, we were in a tunnel underground in Afghanistan with a dog and a Navy SEAL.
Bro, I'm here for that noise.
It was the coolest game I've ever played.
Yeah, no, I'm here for that noise. So, it is the highest stakes game of hide and seek ever.
So cool. And there were like the entrance to the cave was so tight that we had to take all our gear off, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you don't go outside of the wire without your helmet and flak vest and all the things, right? Yeah. We didn't have any of that. Right, I was dressed about like I was dressed right now.
Yeah,
with a rifle and I don't even think I took my 9. Doesn't matter. But
you just had your bottoms and your frogs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
And so we cleared about 2.5 miles, right? And at the we radioed them and told them where we were, and they were pissed, and they sent a little 4-man team out there to get us and walk us back. But to get out of this thing, it was clear up about 30 feet, right? And it was like a well. Think about being in 30 feet under a well. And it was just wide enough where I could put hand here, foot here, foot here. And I literally...
You just shimmied up.
I shimmied up 30 feet.
Bro, we were so young.
It was awesome.
We were so young.
It was awesome. Okay. And then I have my dog, right? I have my dog on a 30-foot retractable, and she was on a harness. And so I literally... drug my dog up, 20, 30 feet up out of that thing. Coolest thing I've ever done. One of the coolest things I've ever done. Thank you for letting me share that.
No, dude, it's out there. Look, story time is important, and take it for what it is. We're talking about integrating dogs into life. There are so many integrations for dogs in life. It's unbelievable.
Yes.
Right.
And one of my favorite
including apparently spelunking, which I do with my dog. It's so funny. In no operational sense at all. There's a place that we go in the summer in central Pennsylvania where we spelunk with our dogs every year we go.
That's amazing.
There's just a walk back cave that's got a river that runs through it, and like you can
I bet they're in heaven.
Bro, they love it so much. Like not only is the water like mountain spring water, literally on one side of the entrance, the water comes out from underneath a mountain. Meets open air for about 200 feet and dives back down underneath another mountain.
Cool.
Right? And so like it is one of the most gorgeous
that's beautiful
places to go.
Majestic is the word that comes to mind.
Open, right? And so you can walk all the way back in the cave until total darkness. Right?
That's
and you take a dog back there and flashlights, and they're kicking through because they can see better in the dark than we can anyway. Right? And they're kicking through and everything's cool because like your flashlight puts off enough ambient light in the area because it's reflecting that your dog's fine, right? But like the number of times we get back there and we're taking kids with us, whatever, right? We get back there and I call the dog over to me, call it into a heel. It's sitting in the water in heel, right? And I click my flashlight off and I feel my dog lean in tight.
Oh,
bro. Right? And I feel my dog lean in and go, right, and go, you're still here, right? And it's like, I got you.
Love that.
And I reach down and I pet him, right? Turn the flashlight back on, right? And we all egress. And man, I'm telling you, it is too fantastic. Some of these things that we get a chance to do with our animals, you cannot replicate outside of it. You'll never get that feeling anywhere else. Like I told you that, and you had an emotional response that I was already having. You know what
I see the tears in your eyes.
Yep. You know what that feeling is, right? And that's where like really finding games, the untraditional games, regular games, all the things that you can do with your dog on a regular basis to just help them be next to you.
Yep.
So important for bonding.
My next story time, I'll tell you about the time me and Sydney Michael went on a mushroom trip together. We went walking for about 8 hours and had a flashback to Afghanistan. But that's next story time.
Dude, story time with Chris is about to be a new thing we do. But I'm here for
it was one of the most amazing nights of my life. We'll talk about it next time. But one of my to close this out, right? Because we're about to go off the rails here. One of my favorite games.
Yeah. Teaching
your dog to do nothing.
Oh, yeah,
right.
Man.
Especially in chaotic or energetic or exciting areas, going out to a bar where we talked about bringing your dog places.
Yep.
We live in South Louisiana, South Mississippi. We go to bars, right?
Yeah.
Bringing your dogs out to those places, one, will take a little bit of time to get them used to what you're asking of them, what the rules are, what the boundaries are. Just teach your dog that doing nothing is cool.
Dude, my dog, I don't go to a bar unless my dog can go. You know what I mean?
It's pretty cool rule.
And like even the puppy, he's 8 months old, like last Sunday, right? He's 8 months old. I've already had him out.
Mm-hmm.
He,
a little bit of exposure here.
With me. You know what I mean? Just hang out with me, bro. It's no big deal. Does it take the first couple of outings? Does it take a little bit more intentionality? Of course.
Yes. And that I think is the key to all of this that we're talking about right here, right? If I can sum up everything we've talked about today, is be prepared the first, 3 to 7 times, right? With some variation to whether you're teaching fetch, whether you're going to a bar, whether you're teaching cuddling with a purpose, right? Expect to be in that teaching mode. Your dog doesn't know your intentions. So tell them, teach them in using your 5 tools and using the communication that you've established, whatever communication you have already established. Teach them what you are looking for. Teach them what you're asking, and then you get to reap the rewards.
And I'll tell you this too, like with that being said, if you get frustrated, just put the dog away.
Yeah, just go. Yep, start over.
Just go home.
It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be perfect.
Don't be what I call a Disney parent, right? Disney parents happening dogs all the time, right? Like parents are just as excited to be at Disney World as kids, and then all of a sudden they got kids screaming and crying and being drugged through the park because they're there for them as much as they're there for the kids, right? Don't be a Disney parent. Be there. Be present for your charge. Be present for the kid at Disney and for your dog in that place when you know they're going to experience there.
Love it.
All right, brother.
Is that it?
I think that's the one.
We nailed it.
Cheers, dude. Another episode of Whiskey and Wolves in the book, guys.
Cheers, everyone.
Subscribe, follow. Catch us next time. And until then, bro.
Love you guys.